There is a method of crocheting called linked crochet, and so what this does is it actually closes in those spaces between your stitches, so it makes a really flat fabric. It's very thick and there is no holes, versus this is the link crochet at the bottom here, and at the top is a regular double crochet linked crochet. So as you can see, this is real airy and lacy, and the linked crochet just fills in all of those holes. It's really simple to do. So you just want to start with a slip knot. And for your starting chain, you're going to have the amount of stitches that you want in your project plus 3 chains. So I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, plus I need an extra 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now in regular double crochet, you would yarn over and you would find the 4th chain from your hook and you would insert your hook. Now we're not going to do that. We're going to flip over to the back and we're going to skip that very first bump, that back bump of that first chain. So there's your first chain. We're going to skip that bump. We're going to go to the second chain. We're going to insert our hook and yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we're going to skip that 3rd chain from the hook and go to the 4th chain from the hook, and there's that back bump, and we're going to insert our hook and yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that is your very first stitch, and you'll notice these other stitches hanging out at the side here. These 2 chains will bring your work up to height, and it kind of is the same as, it reminds me of like when you do single crochet and half double crochet, how you make that turning chain but you don't actually work into that turning chain, and that turning chain's just kind of hanging out at the side. It's kind of the same thing in linked crochet. Okay, so now here's where it gets a little different. Okay, so if you're going to work a regular double crochet, you would yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch, but we're not going to do that, and this is how it links. So if you look real close, you've got this horizontal bar going across the stitch that you just made right there. So you're going to insert your hook into that horizontal, it's kind of more diagonal, not so much really horizontal, it's kind of diagonal looking. And you're just going to insert your hook under this, and you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So that is what actually creates your, instead of doing a yarn over and sticking your hook into the stitch, that right there creates your yarn over on your hook, but it also allows it to link to the next stitch. So you've got that yarn over. Now we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, that back bump, and we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and then we now have 2 stitches made, 1 and 2, and we've got that turning chain at the side. All right, and you're just going to repeat that all the way across. So you're going to find that horizontal bar, which is right there, and you're going to stick your hook in there. And notice too that my hook is going from the top to the bottom. Okay, so you don't want to try to go from the bottom to the top. It has to go from the top to the bottom. And then yarn over and pull up a loop. And that just created your yarn over for your double crochet. And go to your next chain stitch and find the back bump to insert your hook into, and yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And for the next stitch, find your horizontal bar, which is right there. Insert your hook from the top to the bottom, yarn over and pull up a loop. You've created your yarn over for the double crochet. Find your next chain to work into. There's my chain, and I'm going to flip it over because we're working into the back bumps. Insert my hook into the back bump and yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, going to work our last stitch. So again, we're going to find that horizontal looking bar, which is right there. It's kind of more diagonal. It looks a little more horizontal actually when you're done working it, but when you're kind of in the process of working it, it tends to look more like a diagonal. So place your hook under that horizontal bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and that creates your yarn over for the double crochet. Go into your very last chain here. And that's my slip knot right there. Here's my last chain. Turn it over and find that back bump of the chain. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that is the very first row. So taking a look at it here, you can see how it creates these horizontal bars all the way across on each stitch, and that is what is connecting it together so that it eliminates those spaces that you get between a regular double crochet. And if you look on the bottom here, since we crocheted into the back bar, we have these really nice chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over at the side is our chain 2 to bring our work up to height. And again, that's like just our turning chain. It doesn't actually count as a stitch. So looking at the front, this is stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And at the top, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so going to the next row, we're going to chain 3, and all the rest of the rows will be worked like this. So we've got 3 turning chains. Now, how you turn your work makes a big difference in the way that this looks. So you can either turn your work like the page of a book, or you can turn it this way over to your left. So, well, they're both going to your left. So one is swinging in front of you and going to the left. And the other method is to swing it to the back and aim it toward the left. Now, let me show you the difference in how it looks. Okay, so there's if you turn it, if you're facing the front like this, and you make it go toward the back and turn it to the left, this is what your row will look like. And I like this myself because it actually creates on that turning chain, it actually creates a horizontal bar, just like all the rest of the bars that are going across. So I really like, that's my preferred method. Now, if you turn it the other direction, if you've got your hook in, and if you decide to turn it like most of us would turn the page of a book when we're reading it, and if it turns to the front of us and then to the left, this is how it will look. It will have more of a ripply type effect in that bar that goes across is not there. And it just looks a lot ripply. It even looks more ripply on the side view. Now you could work this to your benefit. If you're making a blanket, you could really go with that curvy look that it gives. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it definitely makes a big difference. You can see that that bar is not there like it was down here. And this one down here is just a lot straighter, where this one up here really gives a curvy look. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and turn it toward the back and over to the left. So you've got 3 chains here. Now you're going to work into the back bump of these chains. You're going to skip that very first chain. So there's your first one. You're going to skip that. There's the bump for the first chain, and here's the bump for the second chain. So you're going to insert your hook under that bump and yarn over and pull up a loop. And then you're going to go right into that space. Not space, actually, it's under the stitch. It's under the 2, it's the last stitch that you worked on this side right here. It's the what looks like a chain right on top of that last stitch. So you're just going to work right into that without doing a yarn over. I think I twisted my stitch or my thread there. Okay. I had to reorientate my thread. So just without doing a yarn over, you're just going to insert your hook under those 2 top loops. Now you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So when you did that, when you inserted your hook into the second chain from the hook, that created your yarn over that was needed for a double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that creates your first stitch along with your side chains that are just bringing the work up to height, just like in single crochet where you make that turning chain. Okay, so we're just going to work across just like we did in the first row. Find that horizontal bar in the stitch that you just made, which is right there, and insert your hook underneath of it from the top and then yarn over and pull up a loop, and then place your hook under the next 2 top loops of the stitch in the first row. Make sure you get underneath of both of those 2 top loops, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And you'll just continue working this across. We've got 2 stitches made. Find your horizontal bar, which is right there. Insert your hook underneath of there, yarn over and pull up a loop. That creates your yarn over for your double crochet. Now find your next 2 top loops to work under. Insert your hook under both of those 2 top loops of the next stitch, and yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. You've got 3 stitches. Okay, and just repeat that. Find your horizontal bar, which is right there. Insert your hook under there, yarn over and pull up a loop, go to your next stitch, get your hook under both of those 2 top loops. I like to call them the V's because they look like V's to me. The letter V as in violin. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, last stitch. There's your horizontal bar right there. And insert your hook under there, and yarn over and pull up a loop. Go to your very last stitch, insert your hook under both of those 2 top loops, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And that's the end of row 2, and that is how you will work every single row. And that is what it looks like. So you got your 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see your 5 stitches on the top. And here's what the back looks like. And you can see it just makes a really solid fabric without those holy, without those, I like to call it lace. It looks lacy to me, without those traditional lacy spaces that a normal double crochet creates. And that's how you do a linked double crochet.